Early preparation for retirement increases the chances of being happy, comfortable, and satisfied in retirement. Preparation begins with visualizing a retirement lifestyle and putting in place plans to achieve this vision. This is Seregea Farm, home to a retired couple who took early retirement to achieve their retirement dream after serving this country in the education sector as teachers, later as school principals. Our guest today will be narrating how this dream came into effect, how she nurtured it, and finally implemented it together with her partner.
Yeah, welcome to my home, Frida. This is a rural home in Likuyani, Kakamega County. I'm a retiree. I am called Mrs. Sophia Juma, a trained teacher by profession, but a farmer by passion.
Very nice.
And a business woman by hustling.
By hustling, you're a hustler. Yeah.
Lukiani is in Kakamega County. It's actually we are the bread basket with the Kitale. We are actually very good farmers, and also we do a lot of business. But Likuyani is one of the bread baskets of Kenya. And if you go by the county, it's the bread basket of Kakamega County. Now, most of our maize is just consumed within the county, and we also do a lot of dairy farming. So we are the highest producers of milk in Kakamega County.
Okay.
When we just trained at Kenyatta University, I was actually taken in Moi Girls, Nairobi, to teach English and Kiswahili. But I never loved town. After being in Kenyatta, the running up and down, I just didn't like it. I went back to my employer and asked them to give me a chance to go and teach in the rural area. The letter was changed to Malava Boys High School, which was now in the rural area. From Malava High School, I was promoted as a head of department. I went to St. Anthony Kakoi. Then from there, I went to Ikoli now as a principal. From Ikoli to Matsaka, from Matsaka to Forestol. Forestol is now in Tarbo. From Forestol, I went to Shikoti. After Shikoti, I moved from Shikoti to Bumbe. So from Busia, I was brought to Moi Barracks, Eldoret. And all this is just an effort to be on my farm. At 54, I said, no, I wrote a letter to TS and said, thank you for giving me an opportunity to serve you.
So you are early retirees.
And we are actually early retired. I had my own vision. I knew that as I work, I remember them days. Whenever you got the first salary, you would carry that money and take to your parents, at least to show your mother or your father that, oh my goodness, I've earned. So when I got my first salary in 1988, I was so excited. I lost my father when I was still very young, but I was brought up with my mom. So when I got my first salary, I just took the money and went to my mother.
Africans call that blessings.
I told her, Mama, this is my first salary. She was happy, we was happy, both of us. But she told me one thing, Frida, that came into my mind. It guided me. She told me, you are now employed. And she went back to our mother tongue and said, Omwandi chonomufute. Meaning, now that you are employed, anytime you can lose your job. And I wondered, now, how does my mom tell me this honestly? I've just been employed, I've got my first salary. But when I went back to my husband, I shared with him, and he said, true, true. You can either lose it by not doing well, or you will retire. Retirement is inevitable, just like death. Once you get employed, you will know that one day you will retire.
Yes.
And that is the day I started planning for my retirement.
Wow. That's
That
beautiful.
is the day I started planning for
We
my
thank your mother for that statement. Yes.
because now I knew anytime I can leave my job, but when I leave it, what am I going to do? And so every time as I was working, I started investment. One, we had something called Kakamega Teachers Cooperative Society. And I want to tell you, Frida, I was a secondary school teacher and the first to join that cooperative society, which was known to be for primary school teachers.
Oh.
So I went there and I told them, I'm a teacher, but unfortunately, or fortunately, I teach in a secondary school. How can you help me? So they told me, come back next week. We shall have discussed. I went back and they told me, your salary cannot be deducted from TSC Direct. There was something about the payroll and how they are supposed to work on it and all that. So Frida, they told me, I start saving just by taking money I earn, I take
Personally.
personally.
Tricky.
And I did that for 3 years. I was taking 300 shillings. And it looked like it's a lot. And you know that after I'd saved with them for 6 months, they got so excited. And they told me, why can't you get us more teachers, secondary school teachers, so that we can now go to the TSC so that the payroll can be adjusted. You can start saving with us. Then from there, my husband also left Mwalimu Teachers Cooperative and joined Kakamega Teachers Cooperative. And we started saving, and I started getting, after, was it 8 months or so, they told me, come for a loan. I didn't even, then I'm like, a loan? Yes, we are going to give you a loan. I was supposed to get four times
4 times
what
you
I
are
had
saving.
saved. So I now told my husband, you know what? I've been told I go for a loan. What do we use this money for? Then we quickly decided, no, there is something, those days we used to have something in the TSC called owner occupier. I don't think it was only TSC,
It was government.
it was government.
Yeah.
So my husband said, no, let us go in for a permanent house so that they come and assess the house and we start earning from that. And so I immediately took the loan and we put up a permanent house. I was teaching in Malava Boys, he was teaching in Mia St. Peter's high school in Mias. But then he left Mia St. Peter's to Kimanget Secondary School, which is closer to Malava High School,
Where you were teaching.
where I was teaching. So I was actually teaching from my own house. And my husband started earning.
Oh.
So you see, it became now an advantage. But then with time, they now started giving people house allowance, both men and women. So from there, I now saw, okay, I have the house. My father-in-law had given us land. But then I have this passion of farming. I wanted to do a lot of farming, to have a lot of animals and all that. Sell milk, sell maize, sell chicken, sell eggs and everything. So that land was not enough. And the kind of farming that was in Malava was not the kind of farming that was actually satisfying my desire to be a good farmer. Back at home, my mother had introduced us to farming. I grew up in a home where I never bought vegetables, I never bought eggs, I never bought chicken, I never bought things like potatoes, cassava, maize, milk. We just mostly we were eating from our farm, and we were within the Mumias town. I remember many people from Mias Sugar Company used just to come to our farm to see my mother, to buy fresh produce. The rainfall in Mumias is different. We could almost have rain almost throughout. So she used to have maize, and we had a valley where there was water, running water all through. So we had maize throughout, vegetables throughout, and fruits, pawpaws, passion fruits. She was in fact the first person to plant an avocado within our region. People never liked avocados, but people from Yoshka company would come and buy them. In fact, we never used to eat avocados. We knew they are for people who work in Yoshka company because we never found them to be tasty. We were used to other fruits. She had oranges, lemons. So I think that is what made me love farming, just eating what I produce. You know, you want a fruit, go and pluck it. You want a pawpaw, pluck it and eat it. My mother-in-law was also a type that loved farming. So we bonded so well. I hate vegetables. And by the way, Frida, as I was teaching in Malava Boys, I was sending to teach us vegetables.
Oh, already?
In the morning when I'm going to school, I'm going with some vegetables. So
nice.
teachers knew that they would get vegetables from me. It could subsidize to our salary, and it was just good. But at one time, I started planting so much vegetable until women from the market would come in the evening when I'm from school. They would just follow me. So once I reach home, I pluck vegetables, I sell to those ladies who go to sell now on Malava market. And I also used to have a customer who used to come for bananas. I would ripen bananas, a whole drum. Then there was a man who used to come. When they are not so ripe, he would come and carry them to Kakamega. So, Frida, that made me feel that the farm I was having in Kabras was not enough. So, we now reached a level where we agreed with my husband to buy land. So he bought land near the Nandi escarpment, a place called Fubuye. Very fertile land. But then after just buying that land, somebody came and just found when my husband was going to Nairobi to buy a pickup. We wanted to use it to be carrying our produce from the farm where we had bought to our home. Cousin came and told me, hey, do you know what? There's land in Eldoret. Turning is selling their land. So when my husband came back, he said, no, our dream is coming true. Where would we buy a pickup?
Yes, no?
No, there's land at the scheme. And the price, you won't believe it. We bought first land, soy, 5 acres at 75 each.
75,000 Kenyan shillings for an acre.
For an acre. That was 2000. Then, when we had just bought land in Soyu, 5 acres, and we had identified half an acre on the market, which we bought at 150,000.
At the soy market.
Soy market. Somebody comes and tells us, hey, there's even land in Eldoret town. It was 180,000 per acre. So we again, what we did was to sell the land we had bought in Fubuye, in Kabras. Then we went and bought 5 acres. So we moved from Kabras, we came to Soy. Then when we were still planning to settle in Eldoret town, the 2007 story came. And that story, we looked at it, it was an eye-opener. And we said, no, no, no. But God is always God. When we are still thinking like that, somebody comes and tells us he wants that land that we had bought in Eldoret. So this man comes with an offer. So he tells us he can give us this land that we are now staying in, add us more money, and he takes that one in Eldoret. And so
God has a way.
God always has a way. And so here I am, Mrs. Juma, who loves land. Actually, he was supposed to give us around 15 acres, but he didn't have the 15 acres because the price in town was far much higher than the price here. So he was supposed to give us 15 acres, but he couldn't, so we agreed. He gives us what he has, but the other one he gives us cash money. And by that time, I had 2 kids outside studying. So the option was very good. I'm getting land and then fees for my children. So we now started building here. And you know, this time we are thinking that we need to put up a house in a place where when we retire, we are able to get out, we can get medical attention very easy, we can reach Eldoret to buy whatever we want. We can also go out and relax. Beautiful. And so this land became very, very good for us. It's on the road. You can see they have tarmacked it. It became very, very convenient for us to buy this land because we knew as we retire, we shall be on our farm. We can get all the what we need for food. Just buy a few things here and there in supermarkets, but we shall be on our farm. And then two, you are also very sure that at such a place, in case you fall sick, it's even easy for an ambulance to come in. It's on the road. Sometimes, like right now, when we are going to Nairobi, we leave this place, go to Eldoret, get a plane very fast. And also, we have a police station. After my farm, there's a school in between my farm and the police station. So we are sure of the security, the road. We also have a dispensary, by the way, a hospital on this small market. So in case you fall sick, magonjwa ndogo ndogo, you just walk into and you get treated anyway. And so this farm became very, very important.
Actually, it meets a lot of your needs. It meets your health needs, your transportation needs, and even your recreational needs, and just family needs.
And interesting enough, like this place, as you are coming in, I don't know if you saw, there's a 5-star hotel. Just
I saw something gardens.
Zion.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, once in a while, when you have done your work the whole day and you don't feel like cooking, we just get into the car, get to Zion Gardens, have your good meal, have your wine, and come back to sleep.
So you settled here now?
We decided no, we just want to be there, rural area. So on this farm, we do dairy farming. We produce our own milk for our own consumption. We also sell in the cooperative society.
It's near here?
It's near, I'm even the secretary.
Oh. Of the society?
Of the society, because now after retiring, I have to do something
to keep busy.
To keep myself busy and also to give back to the community. Yeah, because I'm educated, I can take minutes, I can do what. So I'm now in the cooperative society. So we sell there our milk. We are trying as much as possible to ensure that farmers are comfortable. I have, you have seen green maize, we have maize, we have bananas, we have chicken, we have, I've been having goats, but I decided to sell them last month. They destroy my flowers and my plants and all that, so I decided to dispose them off. I have ducks, I have turkeys. In fact, I've been selling those turkeys. My turkey hatched 14 chicks.
Really?
So I brought them up. So I've been selling a pair at 5,000. Those are some of the things that we do on the farm. I also, other than just doing my planting here, using my farm, I also lease.
You lease out land?
I lease out land, plant and maize. Like last year, the market wasn't bad. We sold maize at a good price. But I've also been doing some other business. Of you might be seeing a lot of trailers in my home. I've been a transporter.
Tell me, what is this that motivated you or demotivated you to start at retirement?
As I told you, my mother told me day one that now that you have gotten a job, remember that you will lose that job. All this time, Frida, I was saving with the cooperative society. That cooperative society bought me this land. That cooperative society built me this house. That cooperative society took my children abroad. And when now I reached a level where I saw like my daughter in Canada got a chance to remain there and she started working. My daughter went to Ukraine, came back and became a doctor. Now these children came in. My son was also working. They were like, Mom, you have at least you have brought us up this far. What is it? What is it? And you know the TS brought in something called delocalization.
Yeah, yeah.
I never waited for it.
Interesting. Because you are prepared.
Yeah. I just said, huh? That they want now to remove me from here. I don't know to where. I just said, enough of that. I have served you. You have served. You have given me a salary. I'm now stable. Why can't I go and do my business at home? And so I opted out at 54. I knew I had land. I knew I had milk. I had actually basically I had all the food. I had a good house. This one. Power, water, everything. I can stay in this house even if I've bought all the things. I can stay in this house for 1 week without getting out. And I'm just comfortable.
Self-sufficient.
Self-sufficient. So I didn't see why I was continuing to work. And by the way, I wish people felt like you. You know, teaching has become so interesting, such that you are at 50 and there's a young girl who is who needs this salary and is not getting employed. You know, at one time I was telling teachers in the staff room, I think I'm in the wrong place. If I went out, it will give somebody else a chance to get an employment.
Very good.
So I felt what I've got, I can live with it. Why can't I give a chance to some young girl who was trained as a teacher and is not getting employed because Mrs. Duma is still working with the TS? And that's how I decided to retire. But when I retired, I now went into business. I've been a distributor for Coca-Cola.
Oh, wow.
But that job is tedious. The risks involved. We didn't retire then to start getting a lot of stress. Then we have gone into serious farming, leasing land, and harvesting maize and selling. That one we do it, but now that the maize price has risen, people have also risen the price to lease the land. So we are deciding we have some land in Masai Mara. We are now deciding that we just go to our own to go to do farming on our own farm. We have also been transporters with West Kenya Sugar Company. But come February this year, they wrote us a letter, a notice to tell us that they are no longer taking private transport. So that's what we have been doing in retirement. But again, my children also have not been happy with the business of tractors. Sometimes when their brother is not there, it is us who have been going to supervise. You are giving out the fuel, you have to know where the tractor is going. Sometimes the tractor breaks down on the farm. Then you again say, this is not retirement.
I'm so happy about you as a couple. You really want retirement. You don't want.
This is not retirement. We are just now again into serious working. So when the company said, West Kenya said they don't want private transporters, we said, let us sell away these things and look for something that can just, what we can earn money from, but not straining us.
Yes.
We travel a lot. We go out at least just to relax. We go out to relax. In fact, last week we were in Masai Mara just to relax. We stayed there for a week. We are back. If all goes well, we are flying out of the country just to relax, to relax.
I want you to talk to people who have retired.
People who have retired, one, when you retire, please relax. And then when you retire, ensure your home is comfortable. Make your home a very comfortable place for you to stay. Make your partner your friend.
Yes.
Fellow retirees, go for total medical checkup.
So I've had my day with a retired teacher. We've heard what she has said, we've heard her story, and I just want to conclude and ask you, please subscribe to my channel. And what have you to say?
No, this channel is there for us all. Please subscribe to Grandma Frida's channel. This is an eye opener. For those who are just getting employed, you will one day retire. Listen to our stories and they'll add something in your life. Thank
Thank you so much. Bye bye.